What's up, everybody? You're listening to Duel Radio, and today I have a Scurv Blitz deck for you. I personally went 3-1 on this deck list, and I only lost to a Vincent who happened to have a really good hand and dealt a total of 32 damage to me. And I thought that was pretty good. I thought I played very well, so I just wanted to show this off and maybe, let somebody else give it a shot.
To start us off, we have our hero. Our hero says that as an action, we can tap our hero, destroy a gold that we have, and create a gold kiss from. And then the gold kiss from can tap our hero and then give our next action go again. We're going to be using this on attack actions, but being both of those actions tap our hero, we can't do both on the same turn. We're not playing card tit for tat, which would allow you to untap your hero and then be able to use it in the same turn. Also, when you use the gold kiss from to give an action go again, it taps your hero, and then your hero also gives you a resource, so you can use that resource for anything. So getting the go again and the resource, I believe, is to be one of the stronger interactions in the game. Next, we got our two weapons. We got our two-handed weapon, Talishar. It is the only legal weapon for Scurv, so of course we're going to have to play it. And to go with that, we have Sticky Fingers, which can be equipped if you have a two-handed weapon, which of course we have, and then it is a free attack that on attack steals a gold. So if there was any sort of way that our opponents were to make a gold, or we were to make one for them, we have a way that we can just get it back without actually having to hit or anything like that. Cool play that you can do is you can use the tunic counter, and you can use a resource that you make off of your hero ability from the gold kiss rum. You can attack with your Talishar for 4, and that'll have go again. And then you can attack for free with Sticky Fingers for 2 as a 0 card 6 damage swing. We got 3 pieces of Null Rune. The Null Rune robe should be the Null Rune boots. I just couldn't happen to find them in time. But then it would be the Null Rune hood, gloves, the boots, and then you'd use tunic for your 4th piece. Now, this is our standard equipment loadout. We've got Light Fingers, Crown of Providence, Spring Tunic, and Snapdragon Scalers. The Light Fingers, I would recommend actually using the Light Fingers just because sometimes your opponent is going to make gold instead of you. And while Gold Beaded Hook is good, it requires that your pirate attacks have to hit, and we are not hitting with everything. We'd like to say we are, but if we put too much value in our opponents blocking our cards, I don't want to lose an equipment piece. So just go ahead and use Light Fingers. It works well enough. Crown of Providence, you could play Crown of Dominion, but I think the block value is actually extremely important, and then unbreaking your hands can be really nice with the Providence. Spring Tunic, games might not last long enough for you to gain a resource off Spring Tunic. Just try to block out and get your value out of it before you have to get rid of your chess piece. And the Snapdragon Scalers, there's only one legal target in the deck. It is kind of a bait to have it in the deck, but you can always, send E-Strike for 7, go again, and that's a legitimate threat in Blitz. All right, to start us off with our main deck cards, we've got our 2 set of gotcha cards. The first one being Not So Fast. It's a Scurv specialization that says that the next time your opponent would draw off of a gold, you draw instead. So basically, they're just paying the 2 mana and you're getting the card out of it. You're cycling a card with this. You're getting 1 card for 1 card, and they're paying for it, which is nice. So again, sometimes we're going to be making gold for them, so they're going to have gold to interact with, and then if they choose to use it, it leaves them open for this. They have to kind of know where these are in your decks to not get blown out by it. And to go with those, these are pummels. Well, these will work on almost all of the cards in our deck. The on-hit of pummel's really good. The +4 is really relevant, and especially in a 20 health format, it could be devastating. Moving on to our engine, this is Tip the Barkeep. This is the only card we are currently playing that just makes a Gold Kiss Rum. So this skips the making a gold, tapping your hero to make a Gold Kiss Rum. This makes it so you can make the Gold Kiss Rum and not have to tap your hero. This is the only non-attack action I'm playing in my deck. You can play the other blue block 3, make a gold, flip a card upside down in your graveyard. You can play those, but I chose not to, just because Warmongers is a card in the format, and I would much rather be playing blue attacks for a very specific reason that I'll show you here in just a second. And for our first of our attacks, it's Conqueror of the High Seas. This is a good gold making card. It on hit destroys all cards in the person that got hit's arsenal, and then I create a gold for each card destroyed this way, so that's against Ranger possible to make 2 golds if they don't have a way to get rid of it. And then obviously if you pitch 2 blue cards it gets +1 and go again. So this is a card that goes to 8 go again, and doesn't need the go again from the Gold Kiss Scrum. So this is a very strong card to have in your deck. Up next in the gold making engine, it is Wage Gold. Now this is an attack for 5 and for 7. They are in fact pirate thief cards because it's universal. They block for 2, so the effect must be pretty good. Well, when this attacks a hero, you may wage a gold with them. So if it hits, you get the gold. If they block it out, they get the gold. So this is one of the few cards that we have in our deck that can make a gold for our opponents. And obviously sometimes that can be beneficial for us. So we just want to always wager. We don't really care who makes the gold. We just want the gold to be made. And then we can always get it back later with one of our pieces of equipment. To end out our gold making engine and to start our defensive cards, it's Test of Strength. When this defends, you clash with your opponent, and then the winner creates a gold token. So clashing, you reveal the top card of your deck, and whoever has the most attack on that card, they make the gold. So again, this is another card that can make a gold for your opponents. I think we have a lot of misses, so this is actually very likely to make a gold for your opponent. However, it's just good to have, and the 4 block value is very strong. Up next in our defensive cards, we've got Sink Below and Shelter, both very strong defense reactions that block for 4. The cycling off of Sink Below is very strong, and then the damage prevention with Shelter is sometimes relevant, so we want to just have both of those available for us. And for the last of the defensive cards, I'm playing Hold the Line. Now, this as a D-React most of the time isn't going to be live. However, we are giving our opponents gold, so they have a possibility to draw more cards than they would be able to normally. And then there are a few decks in the game that are going to be able to draw themselves. So this will be live more often than they would be normally. It's a blue card in most scenarios. However, there are going to be times where it's going to be able to stop 5 damage for you, which is really strong. To start out how we are pushing damage, it's Murderous Rabble. This reveals the top card of your deck, and then it gains attack equal to its pitch value. So if it reveals a blue card, it goes to 3 go again, which is always pretty good for a free card. And then it's just a blue block 3, so if you're in the state of pitching cards, this is going to be a really good card to have in your end game. Up next, it's E-Strike, and then we also have the Snapdragon Scaler, so it's always going to have go again. Use the boots for go again. You usually use the draw card option off of the E-Strike, so then you can always get something else. But there is going to be a time where E-Strike for 7 go again, if you have another player ready to go. That's a very, very good play in Blitz, being there at 20 life, you're attacking for 7 off of a go again card. Very strong. No deck is complete without Command and Conquer. The card is the strongest attack in the game, at least I think so. The value that you can get off of it is kind of unmatched and really should be in everybody's deck. Up next, it's Money or Your Life. While this is not a Scurv specialization, it does have a bonus ability if you are Scurv. So it's for 4, 5, and 6 respectively for 3 cost. They all block 2, so the effect must be pretty strong. On hit, your opponent has to either give you a gold, they get the choice, they can give you a gold, or they take 2 damage. And because Scurv is a thief, this happens twice. So how it works is this would deal 4 damage, and then you ask them to give you a gold, and if they say no, you deal 2 damage to them, and then you do it again. You ask them to give you a gold, and if they say no, you deal 2 damage to them. And if they don't have a gold, it does still trigger both times. So the red one here is 6 on hit 4. It's a 3 cost for 10. I think that's fairly strong in a 20 health format. Up next, we've got all of the yellow boats. Well, all except for Battalion Bark, of course. But the Barracuda, the Kraken, and the Marlin, destroying an ally on hit, destroying an item on hit, and then destroying the top card of their deck on hit. I think these were the cards I was citing out the most just for the matchups. The on hits are not particularly strong. There are some really good matchups where you'd want to destroy an item that someone would have. However, these are yellow cards. Most of the time I was blocking with these. Very rarely was I sending them. If I was sending them, it was more so for the overpower than anything. And to get into our end game plan, we've got blue Battalion Barks, down but not out, last ditch effort. Okay, so these are all blue attacks that block 3, and then they go to 7, 6, and 8. The down but not out, you have to have less tokens, equipment, and life than your opponent, but if you're able to meet those requirements, it gets +3 and overpower. The Battalion Bark, it's just a blue that goes to 7. That's very strong. And then Last Ditch Effort goes to 8 go again if there are no cards in your deck. So obviously that's going to be part of your very end game plan, but if you're able to set that up, it's very strong to just send 8 damage with 8 go again. But most importantly, all of these cards block for 3, so if you're ever in a pinch, you can always block with one of these cards.
Now that you've seen the deck list, let me know. What would you change? What should I have played instead of the Easter Egg and the Snapdragon Scalers? If you have any sort of suggestions, or if you happen to play this at your skirmish, just drop a comment down below. Obviously, give us me a like and a follow. Always appreciate that. And until next time, have a great day.
That's a lot of damage.